When carbon is heated in a stream of gas containing oxygen mixed with a non-reactive gas, it is oxidized. When there is little oxygen present in the gas stream, the principal product of the oxidation is carbon monoxide. Analysis of carbon monoxide shows that the mass ratio of oxygen to carbon is 1.33. When oxygen is present in higher concentrations, the principal product of the oxidation of carbon is carbon dioxide. Analysis of carbon dioxide shows that the mass ratio of oxygen to carbon is 2.667. John Dalton first stated the law of multiple proportions. When two elements form two different compounds, the mass ratio of the elements in one compound is related to the mass ratio in the other by a small whole number. In our example, the mass ratio of oxygen to carbon in carbon dioxide is 2 times the mass ratio of oxygen to carbon in carbon monoxide.
All right, this video is quite interesting. Hold on. Sorry. Strange noise upstairs. It's our Ninja, our blender that I love. 'Cause I'm a sucker for TV ads. I'm sitting in my Snuggie, listening to my wife using the Ninja, and from here I can see my shake weight. Oh, I am just a sucker. Anyway, all right, back to this video. This video can teach us some pretty awesome stuff if we just kind of think about it. And usually this is a good discussion. It's kind of hard to do it without your feedback. But looking at this number is actually really fascinating. And it helped us to learn something that they did not know back then is fairly obvious to us. This number is not 1. If it were 1, it would mean that the mass of oxygen was equal to the mass of carbon. And it is not 1, so that is not true. So from this simple analysis, we can learn one of the truths of our current model. All right, and that is that different elements, this will sound way obvious, but they didn't know it back then. You got to remember that. This is a long time ago. Different elements are not the same. Now that sounds stupid. I know. They're different, so of course they're not the same. But this proved without shadow of a doubt that these atoms of certain elements were not the same. They were made up differently. So they were not all made up of one thing called ion. They're going to be atoms, and each element has its different identity. Alright, let me get to another part of this video and we'll talk about the other truth. So this is truth number 1. Let's talk about truth number 2. Okay, truth number 2 comes from the fact that this number is a whole number. It's 2. If you look carefully in carbon dioxide, there are 2 more oxygens than there are here. Since this is exactly a whole number and it's the whole number 2, this proves truth number 2. That truth is that like elements are exactly the same. Because if I double the amount of oxygens, I double the mass perfectly. So this is another truth they did not know back then through our journey. We've just discovered, based on this, that that elements that are alike are exactly alike, and that elements that are different, like carbon and oxygen, are not alike. So they are different. That is a huge discovery and advance in our knowledge of the atom.